My name is Mark O'Reilly from Hamilton and today I'm here with Susan Jackson, Senior Risk Manager, and today we're going to be considering the Innkeepers liability. So does an insurance program automatically cater to allow for Innkeepers liability?
No, the insurance program needs to be tailored specifically to cater for this unique exposure for accommodation businesses.
I've had a recent question from Stuart Munro from Cairns, where a guest room was broken into and their luggage was stolen. Am I liable for the guest luggage that was stolen?
The common law in Australia places strict liability on accommodation providers for the property of guests, and this is called Innkeepers liability. What strict liability means is the guest does not have to prove that you were negligent in some way. This common law position is quite onerous, and therefore in response the majority of states enacted laws to limit this Innkeepers liability. Essentially, the laws place a dollar limit on how much you are required to reimburse your guest for loss or damage to their property. This ranges from $100 to $300 per room or guest, and it depends on your state.
So does the Innkeepers limitation automatically apply?
Yes, it automatically applies. However, it is important to comply with the notice requirement as required by your state. The Innkeepers notice must be displayed at reception or entrance to your property, as well as in each of the guest rooms. The notice needs to be clearly visible, such as on the back of the door or on the desk in the room. In some states, the notice can be in the compendium or on the pouch holding the property keys or the swipe cards. Where this is allowed, the guest will need to be notified of the location of the Innkeepers notice during their check-in.
So when does the Innkeepers liability actually apply?
It applies to guest property which is in their room.
What about when the guests leave property in your safekeeping? What happens from there?
In most cases, the limitation only applies to guest property which is in the room, not when they've left it with you in safekeeping. There's only a handful of states, such as Victoria and Queensland, which provide a dollar limit for property a guest has left in your safekeeping.
Is the client covered then if the guest's property is damaged or stolen when in a property's safekeeping?
Well, we ensure all our clients are covered for their legal liability to guests for damage to guest property. And this is normally covered under our clients' liability policies, which include an extension for property in care, custody and control. What this means is that if you have guest property in safekeeping and there has been damage to that property, you will be covered for your legal liability.
Shouldn't the guests have their own insurance cover for their property?
It is possible that they do, either through householders or travel insurance, and we recommend that your guests speak to their insurer in the first place. This will quicken the process for their guests, as determinations of liability can take time to resolve. Your guest insurer then can make a determination as to whether you are liable, and if they are, they will make contact with you. If this occurs, please contact us and we can talk you through that process.
We hope you find this useful and it assists in your risk protection needs.